Humble beginnings. My story, my testimony.
Glorious, powerful, lovely, and wonderful. What another wonderfully, lovely, beautiful time that God, through His grace, has given unto us. You know what? It's New Year. A new year comes with the blessings. It comes with the goodness. It comes with the good things. I want to thank God for this other beautiful time God has given unto us to meet together. As always, it's your host, Bishop Dr. Ken, and we are here to progress on with a wonderful program entitled Humble Beginning, My Story, My Testimony. I do believe that this program has always been a blessing to you. I do believe that your life has been lifted, your life has been impacted. The testimonies you have been hearing by our friends who have been visiting us in our studio of Look Up TV. And today we are not left behind. We are blessed. Today we count ourselves blessed, privileged. Oh, mention it. We are blessed even to have anointing from abroad. We are blessed to have a blessed and ready Sister Cate. I want to welcome you to our studio.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
What a blessing to have you here.
Thank you, Bishop.
Welcome
Thank you so much.
to our studio.
It's my pleasure.
Thank you.
And I'm very humbled to be here.
Thank you. Cate,
Yes.
Karanja.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes.
I know flight from Australia.
Yes. Yes. Down
That's-
under. The
yeah.
land down under. We call it.
Yeah, beautiful.
Yeah.
Feel welcome to our studio.
Thank you
I want
very
to give you
much.
opportunity to greet our viewer.
Thank
and
you.
feel welcome. Talk about yourself.
Awesome.
Thank
you. So hi everyone. I'd like to greet you. My name is Cate Karanja Hansen. And I live in Australia. I am very Kenyan at heart. And it's been wonderful spending time here on Look Up TV through this program, Humble Beginnings, my story, my testimony. So I'll just tell you a little bit about myself. I don't know how far you want me to start.
I want to give you all the time.
All right, no problems. So I grew up in Thika, in a place called Mbogiti, I believe in Gatora, Gatanga Division. So that's where I went to school. I was brought up by Mr. and Mrs. Karanja. Those are my parents. And throughout my schooling life, I went to primary school in Mbogiti Primary School. And then I moved on in a boarding school called Thika Damsite Academy. And that's where I completed my high school. So the story goes on and on. I went to college here, and an opportunity came through. My friend, you learn that my story has a lot of surprises. It's because of growing up financially strained. We had a lot of financial insecurities because mom and dad decided to retire very early when tea was booming. But that didn't go as planned. So we struggled a little bit going through school. So because of that reason, I really didn't have a written plan of what I would do after high school. And I just happened to, get some funds from here and there through struggle to even complete college. So it's not something I had planned because there was not enough money really. So everything I've been through, really, I attested and give credit to God because it's really God that took me through. I had no hope. When you struggle with money, you really don't have any hope because you don't have the resources to provide.
When you look at you don't look like somebody who has struggled.
Really? Oh, I've struggled. I used to pick tea. I used to travel and walk for about 2 kilometers. 2 kilometers because my dad had a farm away from the house we lived in. So we used to, with my kikapu on my back, pick tea and travel for 2 kilometers to take it to the tea buying center. So that was my childhood, farming, accompanying mom to the farm and helping her plant maize and beans and whatever she planted in the farm. That was my childhood. That's how I grew up. So who I am today, I am a singer, a gospel artist, songwriter, and my career, I am in specialist homelessness services in an NGO in Australia. I love giving back to the community. I think I have a real passion for that. I also run a charity organization called Unorphaned, and my aim is to help one child at a time in education. Having gone through struggles in my childhood, I'm so blessed now, and it's time for me to really give back and inspire people to give back.
Beautiful.
Because there are people that helped me in my journey, and like my sister, and many other people, and I count it as a blessing when you give. And even when someone helps you, it's a huge blessing. So if I didn't get the help that I needed, and even the friend of mine that invited me to Australia, I don't know how my life would have been.
You talk about your sisters and your brothers. And
Yes.
tell us about
So
you are born.
yes.
Oh, you're the only one.
no, we are very many.
Yeah.
I come from a family of 6 children,
6 children.
and we are 3 sisters and 3 brothers. I think my parents really knew how to balance a
And
good
also how to
equation.
pray about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I come from a family of 6, and I'm the last born.
Oh.
I'm just one of those children that come as a surprise. So I'm really
So
glad
maybe your
that the
life is-
surprise made
is
it
surrounded
here.
by surprises.
Yes, my life is just full of surprises.
Yeah.
Even me coming into this world, and
Beautiful.
now I know and realize why I had to come, because God had a great plan for me. I didn't realize it then, but now I do. So all my siblings are all here in Nairobi in various professions and businesses, and I'm the only one of the siblings in Australia.
Wow. And your
Yes.
parents both alive?
Yes, my parents are both alive. In fact, we just celebrated Mom and Dad's 50th anniversary, Golden Jubilee.
You have to repeat it because you never invited
Yeah,
us.
we'll repeat it. We'll repeat it for Bishop, Bishop Ken.
Yeah, he must be there.
Yeah, you must be there.
Yeah.
So my parents are very humble, and I give credit to the strength that I have today. I give credit to my dad and mom's prayers. One thing I know and I observed throughout the struggles, my dad and mom never ceased to pray, and they never ceased to serve
Thank you.
in the church. They never just wavered, whatever came their way. Because 6 children is quite, with having not enough money or good financial security, is not an easy thing to do, to take all the 6 through school. But they prayed and they believed God, they had faith. And I think part of my journey of faith is really, really inspired by my mom and my dad. Yes. So they're very well alive and well. They're healthy. Mom has had a few illnesses, but through prayer, she's actually been able to overcome and stand again and thrive again. Yes.
How is life when you are far away and she is missing you, you are missing her? How do you
Yeah. Yeah, at first it was really, really hard because I left when I was in my early 20s, very early 20s.
Yeah.
And I had a lot of homesick. And I used to cry a lot because it was something new to me. That was actually my first flight ever. So away from family was something really difficult. But we would talk a lot at length on the phone. We will keep in touch, and they would tell me what they're up to. I'd update them how I'm going. They were quite scared because I had no money.
Yeah.
I left
Yeah.
with no money.
Yeah.
Even the flight was a pure miracle. I attended a youth conference, and for some reason, I just had a lot of faith and a lot of positivity in my life. And I told my family, you know what, if we don't have money, you know what, I'll look for some. I didn't know where I'm gonna get the money. I had a little bit because I worked for an IT firm before I left, but I wasn't getting much. So it definitely wasn't enough for a ticket. So I started writing to different organizations to sponsor me, and lo and behold, I got some $60,000 one way to sponsor me.
Yeah.
And all I had to look for is the balance. I think it was about another 60. And I literally borrowed from my friends. I think I had saved up to 30,000. And between me and, what do they say? That's all I had. Between me and my pocket, my wallet, that's all I had. And I just went blindly. Invited by a friend from high school. And from there, I struggled through the first few months finding my way. I went straight into looking for work because I had no money to take me through to any uni.
So you mean when people go there abroad, they struggle? You know, when those who are left behind, they think there is a place of correcting goals on the road.
Yeah, a lot of people think you can pluck money off the trees.
Yeah.
But you know what? Life is a process. I believe it's not the place that makes you successful or makes you not struggle or struggle. It's not the location. It's just your attitude, really. And life is a process. And I believe before anything good can come out of something, there's a process to it. And that is why I believe we experience a lot of afflictions. But it's a journey, and it's a beautiful journey. I always say if I was to live my life again, I actually wouldn't choose anything different. I would still love to go through what I went through growing up in the village and picking tea, taking it to the buying center, going to the farm, going to school without I don't think I would choose a different path because that is where I gained my strength, my resilience, and that is where I got my faith. My faith grew because every single thing had to come from God because there was nowhere else.
And now since you left, like how many years have you stayed abroad?
I've been in Australia for 12 years now. Yes, I left in 2008. Yes.
Do you feel now fully adapted to the life of living away from?
I do, but you know what they say? You can get the girl out of the village, but you can't get the village out of the girl. So I have my Australian life. I'm quite easy. I adapt easily to things and lifestyles, but I still cook my ugali. I still attend the Kenyan fellowships down there. I'm still very well in touch with my Kenyan community. We still celebrate. You know, Kenya is inside of me. So we celebrate a lot of things according to the Kenyan calendar. So it's just balancing both. But obviously, when you go to Rome, you do as the Romans do. So you adapt to the Australian culture. It's such a beautiful culture, a very friendly culture, and very supportive. So I'm really humbled to be part of that journey. Yeah.
How do you feel about the experience of two lives now? You are Kenyan, Australian.
It's the best life. I miss Kenya a lot. And it's a beautiful life. You get to experience a different culture. You get to give back to the community. You get to learn a lot. And it's a beautiful country with beautiful people. You get to experience different people in different churches. You get to learn the culture in different churches also abroad. So how I feel is I'm blessed because I've got two places to call home. So I'm really, really blessed. I can give back. I often give back to the Kenyan community because I feel like I have an obligation to. Because Kenya molded me and brought me to where I am and gave me the strength to push on and approach life aggressively in everything I'm doing with passion and energy. I have a very soft heart for orphans. Not only those who've lost their biological parents, but those that for one reason or another, maybe can no longer access guardianship.
What pushed you to have a heart for your family and those less fortunate people?
I think because of how I grew up, I personally always felt that I'm always at the mercies of people who maybe I had an expectation that they would help me, people who are well up, that I knew. But it's not that easy, actually. It's not a natural thing for a family maybe who are well up to freely, openly identify, oh, that person is struggling. Oh, I'm just going to approach them and just pay their school fees or do this or that. And I thought to myself, looking back on how I grew up, I think it would have been so fabulous if somebody actually did that without much asking. And I thought, you know what, if I can just help one or even two children or a young person, not necessarily children, to give them an opportunity to improve their lives, that would be awesome, because it doesn't take much. And you don't know the destiny or the future of the person you're helping. It could change a country, it could change a community, it could change the whole body of Christ. Everyone is so talented, including these children and young people, and all they need, especially those that do not have guardianship or parents, is just a little help to go through life and get educated and be encouraged in faith, so that in the future they can also be passionate and be inspired to give back.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Wonderful. That's a very
Yeah.
great initiative and a wonderful heart.
Yes.
To have a heart for other people, especially
thank
those
you.
who are struggling, the orphans, those who have gone through that hard life.
Absolutely.
That's really wonderful.
Yeah, and they don't choose,
Yeah.
Nobody chooses to be born where they're born. Nobody chooses these things. It just so happens. Yeah.
Beautiful, beautiful, a wonderful viewer. This is becoming sweeter and wonderful and so educative. We are learning. We are feeling blessed to have an attachment, one of our own, who have gone through a different life and who we can learn out of through the testimony we are getting of her life. We are going to a short break, and when we come, we are going to hear more about life in Australia. Welcome.
Humble beginnings. My story, my testimony.